Here we are with a head-to-head match on the third Monday night session of the season. Player 1 has been bowling league for a little over a year. He finished last fall's season in this league with an average of 182. He's been rapidly improving over the past few months, and it's expected for this to be his best season yet. Player 2 is a much more experienced bowler. He finished last fall's season in this league with an average of 221, and he's bowled multiple 300 games. Don't expect to see very many, if any, mistakes from Player 2 tonight. players had various minor issues during Game 1. There were a few frames in which Player 1's first ball didn't get far enough to the right and hit the rack to the left of the pocket. Player 2 was more consistent getting his first balls to hit the pocket, but didn't carry in a few frames. Game 1 remained pretty close until Player 2 had an unfortunate split in the 7th frame, which gave Player 1 an opportunity to take the lead. However, Player 1 failed to capitalize and made an unforced error by missing the single 4-pin spare in the 8th frame. Headed into the 10th frame, there was only a 1-pin difference between the two scores. Player 1 continued to struggle to get a few of his first balls out far enough to the right for them to get to the pocket during Game 2. Fortunately for him, a couple of frames resulted in strikes, although the ball hit the left side of the headpin. Player 1 managed to maintain the lead in Game 2 until another unforced error of missing the single 10-pin spare in the 8th frame allowed Player 2 to overtake the lead and win the game by a small margin. Had it not been for a couple of missed single-pin spare conversions by Player 1, the series would essentially be tied going into the final game. Although player 1 managed to win game 3, he made another unforced error in the first frame with the missed 3, 6, 10-pin spare. Had player 1 converted just one of his 3 missed non-split spares, he would have won the overall head-to-head match. Player 2 had a couple of splits in the series, but converting 100% of his non-split spares allowed him to win the first 2 games and the total series. For anyone that has made it this far into the video, I appreciate you watching.